In Ethiopia, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has ordered a military offensive against the regional Tigray government in response to the attack on an army base. The Ethiopian government has now declared a state of emergency in Tigray. A statement issued by Abiy's office said that the Federal Council of Ministers made the declaration recognizing that illegal and violent activities within the national regional state of Tigray are endangering the constitution and the constitutional order. Heavy fighting broke out in Ethiopia's northern Tigray region on Wednesday after the Prime Minister had launched military operations in response to what he said was an attack on federal troops. Tensions have been escalating since the month of September, in fact, when Tigray held regional elections in defiance of the federal government, which called the vote illegal. Ethiopia's Tigray regional government on Wednesday prohibited the country's defense force from entering the region. In an audio statement, the government spokesperson warned of proportional measures for any damage to people or property in the region, while he also accused the federal government of deploying troops to invade Tigray.
The authoritarian unitary government that has illegally usurped power of the federal government is committing treason and injustice by forging alliance with external forces and selling out the country's sovereignty in a bid to subdue people of Tigray.
The United States has urged an immediate end to the hostilities in Ethiopia's Tigray region in a statement amid the political crisis in the United States after the presidential election. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said, and I'm quoting, "We are saddened by the tragic loss of life and urge immediate action to restore peace and de-escalate tensions. And the protection of civilian safety and security is essential." The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for immediate measures to de-escalate tensions in Tigray to ensure a peaceful resolution to that dispute.
The Secretary General expresses his alarm over the reported armed clashes in the Tigray region of Ethiopia and calls for immediate measures to de-escalate tensions and to ensure a peaceful resolution to the dispute. He underlines the importance of the stability of Ethiopia for the Horn of Africa region. The Secretary General renews the commitment of the United Nations and its partners in the region to support the government of Ethiopia in its reform efforts aimed at building a peaceful and secure future for all of its peoples.
Wanjohi from Addis Ababa is now joining us live on the broadcast. Thanks very much for speaking with us. Now, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has ordered that military offensive against the Tigray government in response to that attack on that army base. What is the latest that we have on that front?
Well, as we stand now, it is the second day of the National Defense Forces launching the military attack against its own regional forces. And we understand that the forces have continued with the attack, and the Prime Minister has recalled some of the older or retired military generals to come back because he says there is war. The main thing here is a political pull, and which the Prime Minister says has crossed the line. So he is determined to ensure that he flattens, or quote unquote, he flattens their ambitions of trying to find him as an illegitimate president or the prime minister, and he says that he will not leave the Tigray region until he ensures that the regional forces and the political leadership there respects the constitution. So violence continues up there in the northern region of the country. No phone lines can go through. Internet is shut down. The airspace has been shut down by the Tigray region. So there is no communication. We do not know what's happening inside there. All we are getting is just what the government is saying, and the government says so far all has gone well, although it has confirmed that there have been some matters. That means loss of lives and also loss of property and also a lot of injuries.
Right. If you can elaborate for our viewers how things have really reached this point and take a step back and establish the context, because this is a development in the latest spike in tensions, of course, hasn't come all of a sudden. There's been build up over the last few months to this effect.
Well, the main issue here is that, and it was exacerbated by the fact that the people in the Tigray region and the ruling party there, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, refused to accept the leadership of the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. We've seen the political pull between them, and we've seen the government of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, accusing the political leadership in the north of inciting violence in other parts of the country. And to top it all up, it was during the August month when Ethiopia was supposed to go to the national polls, but the National Electoral Board said it could not do so because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and postponed the elections. But the people of the region of Tigray continued and did their own regional elections, and they say that come September 5th, when the constitution demands that the government be dissolved, they would not recognize the leadership of the Prime Minister. And that's where, that's what tops up the whole conflict. So the whole issue of them showing their military prowess against the federal government, and also sending threats and saying they will flatten the people who, the leadership here in Addis Ababa and all that, that is a kind of a threat that has gone on for months, and just took a small trigger, and which is what the Prime Minister said they tried to get into the barracks to send the national forces there.
Right, and in the latest coming in, the MPs also have been backing the state of emergency. If you can tell us more about that.
Yes, yesterday the Prime Minister and his government declared a state of emergency, but of course for that to be implemented, the Parliament had to sit and legally pass it. So today morning the Parliament has just passed it and said it supports the state of emergency. It will be for 6 months. It has not given the rules of the state of emergency, left it open, and that means the government can do so much within an open state of emergency. A committee has been formed that will oversee the state of emergency, and without a lot of information on the rules, then we do not know how much force the government will use in the northern region, or how much the Tigray region will be expected to maybe consult or step down in order to meet the rules of the state of emergency. So it's still an open thing right now, but so far they are going for 6 months.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment, Vanjo. I appreciate very much joining us on the broadcast with the very latest on that front.